Raptor fans, it is that time of year again. With the weather here in Toronto showing us, at least tomorrow, that basketball is upon us. Because damn, it's going to be cold starting tomorrow, isn't it? But more importantly, we are here to discuss the upcoming preseason portion for the Toronto Raptors. As they are in Vancouver, taking on the Sacramento Kings. It's an 8 p.m. tip-off in Game 1 of 4 of the preseason. So let's quickly break down the preseason schedule. They obviously play Sunday in Sacramento. Then they play at Scotiabank against Cairns? I'm guessing. Okay, sure. Then they play Tuesday the 17th against the Chicago Bulls. So again, one game in a week, right? You get the game against Sacramento, and then you got a full week off, and then you come back 2 days later, play Chicago at the United Center in Chicago, and then Friday, October 20th, is when the Raptors finish up the preseason portion of the schedule on Friday, October 20th, and first game of the regular season goes Wednesday, the 25th of October versus the Minnesota Timberwolves at Scotiabank Arena. This video is not going to be really about me. I'm here to drop stuff for you guys and let you go nuts in the comments, okay? I'll be blatantly honest, the expectations for the Toronto Raptors this year aren't great. They really aren't. And this is the first time in a very long time we were sitting here and saying that. Now, I'm not going to go into depth about why I think so just yet, just for the fact I'm saving that for the season preview. But the one thing I'm looking for is, one thing I'm going to explain to you guys is what I'm looking for in the preseason. What am I keeping an eye on in the preseason? And the first thing is how Darko runs his team. Now, in preseason games, you may not get a full idea, but this is the first time since 2018 the Raptors have had a different head coach. May not feel like a long time, but do you remember Dwayne Casey as at the helm? Like, it feels like a long, long time. So it'll be very interesting to see how Darko runs this team and how he runs plays and how he goes about in-game adjustments and all that kind of stuff. I get it's preseason, so you may not see it all, but it would be nice to see a little bit of it, right? Another big thing, and probably the biggest one of all, Scottie Barnes. Not only, right, Rookie of the Year winner, and then comes back last year, really doesn't improve. Doesn't get really any worse, just doesn't improve. And then we had those moments during the season where Masai has a chat with them. Masai travels to the away city and has a talk with them. And you heard at certain points that his off-season regimen wasn't really all that great, and all that kind of stuff came out about Scottie Barnes. Well, with Darko here, we've already heard that the ball is going to be run through Scottie a lot more. And as a Raptor fan that wants to see growth of young players at this point and where this team is at, I love that. But I'm very curious about how they're going to go about doing it. And for Scottie Barnes, did he put in the work in the offseason? Did he come back stronger and is going to take that next step? We will see. Under Darko's system, we will see. And that's something I think everybody is going to keep an eye on. The next thing is just not seeing Fred VanVleet out there for the Toronto Raptors. I mean, we got so accustomed to Fred VanVleet just being there and playing 40, 42 minutes a night because that was Nick Nurse's philosophy. Was just run these guys through the ground. You're not going to do that now. You now have Dennis Schroeder, who, let's be real, he was great in the FIBA World Cup. Great. He was fantastic in it. I think he won MVP. Don't expect that to come over to the Raptors and him for all of a sudden be an MVP candidate or, just be incredible. He is what he is, right? Dennis Schroeder, let me go to his quick, he is now 30 years of age, and his career, he is what he is. I'm not asking him to be more than he already is. He's not getting paid to be more than he already is. But it's just going to take a lot of Raptor fans, including myself, time to not see Fred VanVleet out there. And you damn well know that first picture you see of or video you see of him playing in a preseason game for the Houston Rockets is going to feel weird. It will feel weird. Now, what else am I looking for in preseason? Look, I don't know about you guys, but all this talk for Marquise Noel is great. Like, as a fan of the Raptors and you love the underdog story, we've seen it a lot with this team, you love it. But go out and do it. You know what I mean? Like, you've never touched foot in an NBA game. Hell, even a preseason game. You are 23 years old. I get it. 5'8", undrafted. He's got that chip on his shoulder. I get it. But let's see it. And preseason is a great chance for Raptor fans to get a look at this new kid. And obviously, Grady Dick, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to see Grady Dick put on a uniform in a somewhat meaningful game, right? Preseason, it doesn't mean anything, but for younger players, this is kind of that next step from Summer League, right? You're not just playing all these young guys, all these really low bench guys, G Leaguers, right? You're now playing guys who will be in the NBA, who will be rotation players. Let's see how you react. Is there anybody else here that I see that I'm Garrett Temple, I guess, in his first bit as a Raptor? Can Precious Achiuwa take that next step? Because we saw it, right? We saw the year prior, that Precious Achiuwa was really working on the three. And come on, let's be honest. How many times 2 years ago did we see, late in the year, Precious Achiuwa, take transition threes and knock them down? It was remarkable. But with injury stuff last year and very much so inconsistencies, he definitely didn't take that next step. Well, for Precious, you're now 24. You're at that point where people want to see that next step. And if you're not going to do it, well, we'll see what happens moving forward. Who else we got? Jalen McDaniels, obviously newest Raptor, and Otto Porter. I love Otto Porter, for one reason. I think they asked him on media day, what are you trying to do this year? He's like, stay healthy. And I'm like, preach to that, pal. Dude has been a Band-Aid for the majority of his career. So, it's going to be interesting to see how his thing plays out. But honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. Like I said, the hype is not there. And this is the first time in a long time we can say that. I'll quickly break that down. I wasn't going to, but I want to. In 2019, sure, championship. Next year after, the run-it-back year. You didn't have Kawhi, but we know how fun that team was to watch. 2020, which obviously led to the bubble, and we had some great moments in the bubble, but it's the stupid bubble, and it is what it is. But team made the playoffs, made it to the second round, pushed Boston to 7, unfortunately lost, but a lot of great things out of that season. Then you had the Tampa year, which was an abomination in its entirety, which Raptor fans were okay with. I got on board the tank train, or as Masai called it, the Tampa Tank. And I was cool with it. We all were. Get a high draft pick. You still have some great players, right? Build them in, come back to Toronto, and boom. Well, they tanked that year. You got Scottie Barnes. You go fast forward to the next season, 2021. The team kind of hovers for a good bit of the season, but they really turn it on late in the year. Scottie Barnes turns it on late in the year, wins Rookie of the Year. You end up being the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. You push Philly to 6 after being down 3-0. And you grind that series down as much as you were pitiful in the first 2 games. And you thought, okay, that's fine. You're a young player, Scottie Barnes. He got hurt in game 1 as well. You want to see him take that next step the year after. Well, this is the first time it didn't. And for the Raptors, it went backwards. You get into the play-in game. You blow a big lead against Chicago. Your season's done in 1 game. And it was a pain. They were 41-41, the most mid team you could possibly be. But then this year, you lose Fred VanVleet. You replace him with Dennis Schroeder. I get the FIBA stuff. I get it. That's not going to be him. And if it is, holy crap, they got a gold mine. But I'm not expecting it. Pascal Siakam, whoa, wow. With Pascal Siakam now in a contract year, how's that going to look? We'll see. It's going to be a weird year. My expectations aren't very high, but who knows? And I want to be pleasantly surprised. But as for preseason, it's about seeing some old faces, getting happy about it, seeing some of the new guys and really zoning in on guys like Grady Dick, Marquise Noel, some of your newer guys, right? Garrett Temple and Jalen Daniels and guys, and even Maker. What a name! Love it. 6'10", 232 out of, I think it's Kenya. Thon Maker's brother. Let's see what happens, right? It's preseason. Doesn't mean a damn thing. You win, lose, whatever. But you want to see some positive signs from some younger players. Confidence-wise, you need to see it. So we'll see what happens, all right? Raptor fans, you know what? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and I guess are jacked up for the more or less the basketball season to get going and are jacked up for Raptors basketball to get going and preseason stuff, you know, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready to move on from the Blue Jays. It was a painful end of the year. If you guys didn't watch the video yesterday, please go check it out. It was a painful year. But as for Raptor fans, and if you're not a Raptor fan and a basketball fan in general, welcome to the page. And hopefully it's going to be a good year. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and are jacked up for the basketball year, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Twitter, Discord, or comment down below all your thoughts on the upcoming season, the preseason. What are you going to be looking for the Raptors preseason schedule? And what do you want to see out of the preseason? 4 games, obviously, but what do you want to see? All right? And Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below. So follow up there if you've not done so already. And I'll talk to you guys, of course. I'll be here. Okay, here we go. I'm not used to breaking these ones down. Leafs edition later tonight. Actually, 7 o'clock. So the Leafs play the Red Wings at Scotiabank Arena right now. We're doing a video later tonight about that, of course. And as for the Raptors, I'll be talking to you guys on Sunday night. Game 1 of the preseason for the Toronto Raptors as they host. They're in Vancouver. So they'll host the Sacramento Kings in Vancouver. Where's it going to be played at? Rogers Arena in Vancouver against the Sacramento Kings in Game 1 of 4 of the preseason. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and are excited for basketball to return. We'll talk to you guys then.